Nothing is forced, nothing is forced.
Okay, it's story time. So, in my first year of university, which is college to any Americans out there, I had to take an exam, which is not particularly original, but it was my last exam and managed to get through all of them. I was feeling pretty great. One last exam, then I was off on holiday. It was going to be awesome. And I'd also had the most time to revise for this exam. Because I was like, wow, isn't that great? 2 exams right at the start, awful, but then like a whole week to revise for this next one. So naturally, I revise loads for the first 2 and then do almost nothing for the second one. Good planning. So the night before, a friend's like, do you want to come over and revise? And I was like, oh my God, hell yes. We decided to meet at a shop nearby, and it has these teeny tiny little steps. They were basically be a wheelchair ramp, except they decided they didn't like wheelchairs. I don't know why the steps were there, but they were. So I would go inside and see my friend outside, and somehow I managed to dramatically fall down these teeny tiny stairs. Like, I go flying, everything goes flying. I'm sprawled, spread eagle on the floor. I'm sure those are the lyrics of a song. My friend rushes over. I'm massively embarrassed, but, you know, we limp back to her place, and I have definitely twisted my ankle, and my knee's pretty busted up as well. So she's really sweet. She ices them both, and I'm lying on her bed, and we revise for the exam, and I'm feeling pretty good about the exam, and the next day, I hop on the tiny little hopper bus that goes around campus, which is really embarrassing because it's really not that long a walk. And I get there and I sit down at my assigned seat, no problems. And then they say, you know, go, and, well, they don't say go, no, rewind. I'm writing my name and details on the front of the booklet, which is what you have to do. And then I notice that my wrist isn't doing so great. It kind of hurts, and all my writing is coming out really weird. And it's not great writing in the first place, but this is particularly bad. And then about 30 seconds before the exam officially starts, it hits me. I have sprained my wrist as well, but I wasn't walking on that, so I hadn't noticed. So I flagged down someone, and I'm like, my wrist is sprained, I cannot take this exam. And she's looking at me like, what? So we're not doing so great. And then she's like, okay, I need to go talk to someone more senior than me. Runs off, and then the guy at the front goes, and go. And that's the official start of the exam. I'm like, fuck. It's a timed exam, and there's lots of essays to write. Then I've got a busted wrist. So I'm like, oh God, I better get on with this. So I open the booklet, panicking, like, how am I going to do this? I cannot write 3 essays with a twisted wrist. This is not going to work. Meanwhile, the woman I'd flagged down is frantic at the front, which I'm quite grateful for because, you know, I can't physically express my franticness. It's nice someone else is doing it for me. The main examiner comes over and he just gently closes my booklet and goes, "You didn't see anything." And I was like, ah! She was like, no, just go sit at the side of the room. Now, most of our exams are taken in this huge sports hall where there's at least, 5 to 10 exams going on at the same time. Not mine. This is just my entire year in my degree, which is pretty much every module you do in England. That's great. Everyone's looking at me like, why has she been sidelined? And then he comes over to me and he's like, right, okay. So that's when I start crying because maturity. He's like, okay, this is fine. Absolutely fine. Go get a note from the doctors. It's going to be absolutely fine. And so I walk off and I get a note from the doctors and I'm trying to sort it all out whilst panicking. And I've arranged to meet the same friend who I'd fallen down the steps in front of after the exam. So I meet her and she just looks at me and goes, what happened? And I burst into tears again. But it was all fine. It was all absolutely fine. I got it all sorted and I did get to go on my holiday. And it's a bunch of families that all go down to Devon at the same time together. And I got down a bit late because I've been trying to sort out this exam nonsense. And someone turns to me and goes, "Oh, Emily, I heard you got really drunk and fell down a flight of stairs and like for an exam and couldn't take it." And I was like, no, it's bad enough without drunkenness being, but no, that's not what happened. And then multiple people say that to me, and I'm like, "Parents, what happened?" And Dad was like, "Oh yeah, I told everyone you got drunk and fell down the stairs for an exam." I was like, "What? That's not what happened, Dad." And he turned to me and he said, "Emily, it's worse if you were sober." So that's the story. Sorry it was so long. Bye.
Would you love me in a book? Or would my character go overlooked? Would you love me in a plane? Soaring high above the mountain range? I don't know, but man, I hope you do. 'Cause I don't care right now. I'm gonna love you. Now would you love me in my sleep? Or would you wake me up before you kiss my cheek? Would you love me on the moon? Tell me I'm out of this world to you. I don't know, but man, I hope you do. 'Cause I don't care at all. I'm gonna love you. 2, 3, 4. Cause I have loved you, oh my God, beyond every rational thought. And I have seen you every night. It's all I want every time I close my eyes. And I don't know what should I hope you do. 'Cause if you do, then I won't long for you. All aboard the spaceship. All aboard the spaceship. All aboard the spaceship. All aboard the spaceship. All aboard. All aboard. All aboard. All aboard.
Hi Lee, this is Megan Wormsbin, Megan B from down in Athens, Ohio, and I'm coming at you today from the airport in Denver, Colorado, where I've been waiting for a couple hours because I missed my flight this morning. And I was just talking with some friends about how our parents like to get us to the airport really early, and they say, you know, it's better to be there 2 hours early than it is to be there 10 minutes late. And I got here 10 minutes late today. And we tried. I really tried to get here early, and there was a really bad accident up on the highway. And then I thought, maybe, if I'm one of those people who run through the airport, I could make it if I just run. And I always love watching those people run through the airport. They have such an urgency, and I just wonder, like, wow, are they going to make it? Where are they going? Is this really important? And I thought, if I can be that person that runs, I can make it to the gate. And so I checked in, and I started making my hurried pace, and I got to that TSA line, and there was a whole line through the whole corral system was backed up. This huge room through the whole corral system. And then the line ran all the way down this long hallway, and it wrapped around the baggage claim area. And I was, at that point, my feeling like, I'm just going to run. If I'm one of those people who run, I'm going to make this flight. And once I saw that line, I was like, nah, I'm definitely not going to make this flight. And so I chatted with some people in the line, and we finally made it through. And I got to the line, and my bag got x-rayed, and my flip-flops were a questionable object. They ran through the x-rays, so they swabbed my bag. And the guy was really nice. He was like, sorry to hold you up. And I said, don't worry about it. I definitely already missed my flight. And he was just like, yeah, that's the way to think about it. Yeah, you just catch the next one. So I was feeling like, yeah, I'm laid back. I'm cool. It's not a big deal. And then I went up to my gate and said, hey, I just missed this flight. And they said, yeah, we were looking for you, and I don't know, the next one might not get you until 9 tonight if you catch that one. And all of a sudden I realized that instead of getting in at 3, I might not get in until after 9, and maybe it was a bigger deal because my good friend's wedding rehearsal is this evening, and I really want to be there as a friend and as a supporter, and I'm officiating the wedding, so being at the wedding rehearsal is kind of important. No, it's really important, and I want to be there to support my friend and get things ready. They're having it at their house, so they probably need help getting things set up for their house so they can have lots of people over. And all of a sudden I just realized, I really fucked up. And I almost started to cry, and thought, I'm not going to cry in front of this Southwest airline agent guy. But he was really sweet, and he gave me a list of flights that I could possibly get on. So I've been going to each gate and waiting at the time. And the hardest thing about it was having to call my friend who was waiting for me to be at the wedding rehearsal and let her know that I might not even be there tonight. And I called her, and she's like, how you doing? And I was like, not great, and I missed my flight, and I don't know if I'm going to be there tonight. And I start crying on the phone, which is always so hard to cry on the phone because then you can't really talk. And she gave me a hug through the phone, which is really nice. And I really wanted to be there to support her. And in turn, she was supporting me, and she's like, you're fine. It's going to be okay. We'll just go through it in the morning. It's not a big deal. You'll get here. You're okay. We're fine. And made me feel a lot better. And I've been feeling really emotional because I just got done with this great week at Rocky Mountain Song School out at Planet Bluegrass in Lyons, Colorado. That's why I'm out here right now. It's a week-long camp out with 180 other songwriters, and it was so wonderful, so powerful. I can't recommend it highly enough to anybody who's into songwriting and music and bringing people together around music. And in the end, at the end of the week, people were just sharing songs that they'd written that week, sharing stories, giving a voice to other people's stories. And in the end, Peter Yarrow gave a talk, and he talked about how music is going to change the world, and music is needed around big events and around protests and around real change in this world. It comes from music. And I was so inspired. He's such a powerful, gentle soul. And he can make everybody in the room feel so connected just by his music. And while I was sitting here in the airport waiting to see if I could catch a flight, I was looking back through my pictures and videos from the week at song school, and there was a video I had taken of Peter Yarrow singing "I'm on my way." And it goes, "I'm on my way, and I won't turn back. I'm on my way, great God, I'm on my way." And as I was sitting here in the airport and pulled up that song, it just hit me again in a new way, being here, trying to get home to a friend, and not knowing when I'm going to go, but knowing I'm going to get there. And it pulled me back in to the music and reaffirmed the power of music in another way. And I'm so thankful that music is a part of my life. And I'm so thankful that I have good friends that support me, and that I'm all right, and that I wasn't the person on I-25 in that horrible accident this morning that held me up and made me miss my flight. And I'm so thankful for my parents for bringing me many hours early to the airport. I'm learning my lessons. And I do believe music is going to change the world. And hey, I'm on my way. Thanks for listening. See you later, Lee.
I've lived in my room for the past 3 years, and I'm not sure if you have even noticed, and I can't wait to spend my days making scenes in the living room or sleeping in the middle of the hallway, or sitting crisscross eating on the kitchen floor, doing my own dishes, not yours. Doing my own dishes, not yours. And it's okay that we're broken, and it's fine that you don't know me or my friends. You think we're reckless, but we're not. We're gonna change the world. We're gonna start a band. We're gonna run for president. We're gonna take a stand. We're gonna do great things. 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 And you won't see a thing.
Okay, story time again. So there was a point in my life where me and my friends really loved this one particular club. In later years, we really couldn't tell you why, but at the time, it was like the best place in the world. One of the things it had really sensibly around a bunch of drunk people was some platforms which you could get up and stand on, which is, you know, fantastic when all the girls are in heels and drunk and all the guys probably aren't in heels, but, you know, cool if they are. We tended to go out in quite a big group. It was more fun that way. It was awesome. So we're up dancing on one of these platforms one day, and my balance isn't good at the best of times. And it had been a good night. And there's quite a lot of us on this platform. I take a step, and suddenly I realise that there is not platform under that foot. And the ground is changing angles in front of me. And my friend James, who's lovely, grabs me. And I'm like, phew, safe. But we weren't. I actually somehow, despite him playing American football and being huge, dragged him off with me. Huge, by the way, meaning like tall. Yeah, he's not fat. Sorry, James. Love you. And anyway, as I drag him off with me, when I land, I don't actually land on the floor with very tall James on top of me. I managed to somehow mid-air maneuver him underneath me. So not only had this poor boy tried to save me from myself, he'd also ended up cushioning my fall, which was great from my opinion, but probably not so great from his. But anyway, thanks, James. That's really the moral of the story. Thanks, dude.
Hey guys, welcome to Nursery. My name is Lee Boyle, and I'm here at Federal Federal Frenzy, Youngstown, Ohio, on Federal Street, downtown, where I'm working the merch table for Ohio band Red, One, and Blue. Today's episode is something. I know that much. But in the meantime, if you're an outsider and you just happen to be listening, I just want to say, go check out some Youngstown, Ohio music. Go online, Google Youngstown, Ohio music. You'll find a lot of good stuff. Athens, Ohio music. Dayton, Ohio music. Ohio music. Music from Ohio.
The voodoo that you do, but nothing feels quite right. The voodoo that you do, but nothing feels quite right.
Another shot of Ciroc on the rocks, no chaser. And your ex ain't money, so I know you won't chase her. Her heart is frozen, colder than them glaciers. It's over, those words cut like a razor. Since you stopped the charade and all the pretending, the hate you've acquired for her is unbending. They could never understand, it ain't their grudge. How could someone that you once loved you hate so much? They never understand. You're the furthest from a lesser man. Late nights on the couch, I'll talk it out, no letter man. But it's over, now that shit is irrelevant. Love is war and you're a POW veteran. On to bigger and better things. She's a piss poor woman who'll never get a ring. Her most redeeming qualities are so deceitful. Karma make a voodoo doll and play with all the needles.
The voodoo that you do, but nothing feels quite right. The voodoo that you do, but nothing feels quite right.
Another shot of Ciroc on the rocks, no chaser. You're a stubborn motherfucker, so I know you won't chase him. Your heart is frozen, colder than them glaciers. You never thought that your decisions would up and make ya amputate emotions and cut them clean off. That's your natural response, it's all by default. If you'd have set expectations at the beginning, then you wouldn't find yourself in this fucking predicament. Fact of the matter, y'all relationship was horseshit. We can't ignore this, but now y'all better for this. Karma catching up with you doesn't feel foreign, with your skeletons in storage, chilling next to corpses. On to bigger and better things. Don't want no wedding ring or anything that Jester brings. His most redeeming qualities are so deceitful. Karma make a voodoo doll and play with all the needles.
The voodoo that you do, but nothing feels quite right.
Hi there, this is Zoe Nightingale, and you're listening to Nursery, a podcast from Ohio's Creative Voice.
Everybody get around. There's a gas doing stick over there. Everybody get around. Get the fire extinguishers and pitchfork. We're gonna drive it. Go get it.
That means we still get hammered. Where's the crowd? Okay, alright.
He lives up there.
How long were you from Chicago? Love it.
He has his master's in history.
Oh, he's got a master's too. Oh, yeah.
He teaches at Start. He teaches at Start State. Yeah, he's a professor.
Whoa, nice.
Yeah, I'm banging a professor's life.
Oh! I know. I would have told you.
I'll see you guys next time.
She does, but I am not making things. Fair enough. Oh, yeah. And then get ready to melt some faces.
Melt all the faces.
I was when you were going, hey, where's
Oh, hello. This is Dave Little from Things I Thought About Today, and you are listening to Nursery, a podcast from Ohio's creative voice. But you knew that, right? Hey, I know a guy from Ohio. He had a kid out of wedlock. I think he was 17. He's in his 30s now. So, I feel we're connected. Take it easy.
Hi guys, thanks for listening to Nursery, a podcast from Ohio's Creative Voice. Here's who was on this episode. Intro music, my band Third Class. Then we had a story by my friend from England, Emily Zinkin. Then we had the music of Modern Life. Go check those guys out. Then we had a story from Megan Worm's band. Megan, otherwise known as Megan B, or formerly Worms and the Decomposers, has just finished a Kickstarter fundraising project and is working on a new album. Megan, thanks for the story. And good luck with the music, and it was nice to see you a week or two ago playing at the Unitarian Church in Youngstown. That was awesome. Then after her, there was a song by Human Petting Zoo. Human Petting Zoo, really cool. Great act. Uke Punk. Check out Uke Punk online, and you'll just fall down a rabbit hole. Great stuff. And she's on our Seattle Stars compilation for Third Class. You can find that at thirdclass.net for free. Totally for free. Then you heard a little blip of a live performance of a Third Class song On a Page with Aaron Kane on clarinet. Just a little piece of it real quick popped on there. And then after, Jeremy, your snorting is on the podcast now. After that, you heard a clip of me at a Red, White, and Blue concert real quick. Shout out to those guys. They're awesome. And by the way, those Emily Zinkin stories, I worked with her at a camp in Seattle. She's awesome. Emily, I hope you're doing well. She's a theater. She works in the theater. She's a theater junkie. She's an actor. And she's awesome. After the Red, White, and Blue clip, or the clip of me at a Red, White, and Blue concert, came D-Town. Go to executive-dtown.com and check out his music. He's awesome. I don't expect you guys to know exactly the order that these things happen, but I just want to give credit where it's due. There was a little clip from Zoe Nightingale saying, "You're listening to Nursery." She has her own podcast, Zoe Nightingale. That's ZOE Nightingale. It's fantastic. Check out her website, zoenightingale.com. You're welcome. Then there's a little clip of another Third Class song, I Love This. Then we move on to me talking like a redneck for some reason. And then you hear some sounds from Kent, Ohio, outside of Stone Tavern. After that, there's a Juche clip. Juche is my brother Jack and his friend John. Great electronic music. Ridiculously cool sounds and scapes. Then there's a little clip from Dave Little. He mentions in his clip his podcast, Things I Thought About Today. Coolest podcast of all time. So good. Little like 1 minute, 2 minute thoughts. Then there's some sounds from Ohio City in a coffee shop called Rising Star Coffee. And then what fades us out is Ennett House, a band from, I believe, Sandusky, Ohio, or Port Clinton, Ohio. We played with them at Grog Shop in Cleveland a long time ago. They're great. Two very young kids with like a keyboard and some vocals. They just seem like they popped right out of like this really cool hip basement where they do these cool electronic recordings. So shout out to those guys. I haven't seen them in a long time, and we'd only seen them that once, but they were so good. Guys, thanks for listening, and I just want to mention our sponsors. We have, let's see. The Orange Avocado, a founding sponsor, of course. Raw, vegan, gluten-free desserts. Check them out on Facebook. And then the Speaking of Music show, an audio editorial program that dives deep behind the curtain, taking on questions about the new music of today, while rewinding back to yesteryear. Check them out on YouTube. Also, Timeless Shots, a photography company based out of Ohio. Check out what they do at timelessshots.com. Timeless Shots Photography, capturing moments for all occasions. So, you know the drill. Check out thirdclass.net. If you're listening to this in 2015, before October, go on Twitter or Instagram, Third Class for both of those, at Third Class, and search the hashtag hymns from some small tour. I'm going to be going on a solo tour through Kansas, Indiana, Oklahoma, Nebraska, Ohio, and I'm going to be promoting Hymns from Some Small Town, our new vinyl release. So, thirdclass.net. If you want to laugh, you know where to go. Bullskit.com. My friends and our weird sense of humor, huh? Okay, guys, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. Keep making Ohio awesome.
Hey Ohio, this is Jimmy Martin from the Speaking in Music Show at YouTube. Thanks for listening to The Nursery.